This is Nauru, a tiny remote island in the Pacific Ocean, one of the least visited countries on Earth. You gotta be very careful about filming.
Not come on site, it's actually a restricted area.
Were you treated badly?
95% chance to die.
And today, I'll be taking the long journey to get there. Once upon a time, Nauru was filthy rich. This was the richest nation per capita on the planet. The average Nauruan earned 4 times more than the average American. Today, it's a shell of its former self. This was the source of so much income for this country. It has the highest obesity rate in the world, the highest smoking addiction rate in the world. It has an Australian refugee detention camp, and it now has a reputation as the island that literally ate itself. The Nauru government is also infamous for having some very shady activities, like literally allowing terrorists to money launder through their banking system, which is why journalists are banned here unless they pay $10,000 or risk arrest.
A damning new report on the treatment of asylum seekers, especially children, at Australia's offshore detention centre on the Pacific island of Nauru.
So I went undercover as a tourist to find out answers. What really killed Nauru's riches? Why are Nauruans becoming obese? What will happen to these refugees trapped here? So, join me as we visit Nauru, the wildest rise and fall story that you've never heard of. Welcome to Nauru. It's probably the smallest international airport I've ever been to. Okay guys, we just freshened up and we're ready to start exploring Pleasant Island, as the locals call it. Well, this was actually the name given it by the colonizers who arrived here first. Now it's called Nauru, and it is the 3rd smallest country in the world after Monaco and Vatican City. So we rented 2 bikes for $30 a day, and we're gonna do a race around the island and go to a few spots on the way. This is tiny. Mate, it's way too small for you. Welcome to Nauru, guys. Population of 10,000 people, 21 square kilometers. This is probably one of the most unique places I've ever been. I'm feeling super grateful that I'm able to experience places like this. So this is the ring road that pretty much is the only nice road that goes all the way around the island, and you can drive around in 20 minutes, half an hour, I think. So we're gonna do a loop. There is a few interesting things to see on the way, / in the middle of the island. The Australian detention camp, the World War II bunkers. Let's see how much things cost in a Nauruan supermarket, bearing in mind everything's imported. This is $33. This is $6. $24 for watermelon. Wow. 1 slice. It's expensive. Grapes. $21. What's your name?
I watch your videos.
No way. So I just met Emily from Fiji,
Yeah.
but you live in Nauru?
Yeah, I live in Nauru. I work here. Watching your recent podcast, I think.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Luke.
Luke, yeah.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
amazing. How's life in Nauru?
Oh, it's great.
Were you born here or you just moved here
No,
for
I
work?
moved here back in 2023.
Okay, why did you move here, for work?
Yeah, for work.
Okay.
I applied for a job here at the hospital.
Okay, nice. So there's more opportunities in Nauru than Fiji? Or you just wanted to change it?
I think I just wanted a change of environment.
Okay,
Just the
nice.
experience. Yeah.
What's the differences between Fiji and Nauru?
This place is quite small, I would say. Things are a bit expensive here.
Yeah.
To Fiji. Yeah, but the money is good.
And what do you miss about Fiji?
Family.
Okay,
Yeah.
all your family still living in Fiji?
Yeah, my family
No
and
way.
friends. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Well, thank you so much for
Nice
watching
to
my
meet you.
video. Behind me is a very big clue as to why Nauru has been through the problems and struggles that it has. Once upon a time, Nauru was filthy rich. The average Nauruan was 4 times richer than the average American. In the 1970s, a phosphate, which is a mineral essential for plant growth, was heavily mined and found on this island, making it one of the wealthiest per capita in the world. But that wealth came with strings attached. The English who discovered the phosphate capitalized on Nauru's resources, mining the land heavily and reaping the profits. By the time independence rolled round, much of the wealth had already been funneled elsewhere. Fast forward today and it's a very different story. 80% of the island is now stripped bare. Only a narrow strip is inhabitable. There is extreme poverty, there is no fresh water, there is a 90% obesity rate, and life expectancy is just 64 years. And this right here is pretty much a symbol for what has happened. These are the old phosphate booms, I think they're called, which basically was carrying the phosphate to the cargo ships. Because of this jagged land, the cargo ships could not come. There's no port for Nauru, so they used to use these to transport the phosphate onto the ships. As you will see later in this video, guys, there are some serious human rights issues in Nauru, and so for every sign up we get to Holofly on this video, I'll be donating $20 to Save the Children, a charity for refugees displaced from their home country. Next up on the things to do in Nauru is the Australian detention camp. Yes, you heard me right. The Aussies built a detention centre for refugees, so when they came to Australia, they sent them to Nauru of all places. But you would never catch the English doing that. We would never go and build a prison on another island and send our prisoners there. That would be absolutely ridiculous. You would never see an English person doing that. Anyway, let's head to the Australian detention camp in Nauru. The road is bumpy and my bike is not made for this. It seems like someone doesn't want us to get in. There's always a way. We're gonna get into this prison, this Australian prison, and shine a light on these terrible Australians making prisons in other countries. Looks like we found another route. Our dreams of heading to Australian prison might not be over. I think we may be able to do it. And what better day to do it on Nauru Independence Day, when I'm guessing there won't be any security, so we may be able to just walk straight in. Oh wow. Oh, it's legit still. Is that it? Yeah. Is there anyone we can speak to, like about maybe...
The government, yeah.
Okay, we have to go to like the government. But, so this, I thought the detention camp was closed. I thought it closed.
It's actually a restricted area, so only approved personnel can come on site.
So we've arrived at the Australian detention camp, which I thought was closed, but it's not closed. It's still very much open and functioning, and they currently have. So any refugees that get to Australia, I don't know how they get to Australia on like a boat or something, they get sent to Nauru. So guys, don't think about going to Australia because you're going to get sent here. Pretty good deterrent. From Bangladesh?
Yeah, from Bangladesh.
And you were inside for 6 months?
Yeah, inside before. But total I stay in the 1 year.
You've been in Nauru for 1 year?
Yeah, 1 year.
What do you...
6 months here and 6 months outside.
Outside? Do you like
Yeah.
it outside more now?
It's not more.
It's same. What's life like in Nauru compared to Bangladesh? Is it hard life here?
Here is a hard life, not good.
Really?
Because there's very too much tension, everything.
Do you want to go back to Bangladesh?
No, I can't go my country because when I go my country, someone kill me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I still have problem.
Just over there is the detention camp. I didn't realise it's still actually open. I thought it was closed, so I thought we'd be able to walk in, but it's very much still in use, unfortunately. And you might be wondering, why is there a detention camp in the middle of Nauru? Well, after Nauru's phosphate boom collapsed, the island had to find new sources of income. Australia stepped in, paying 500,000 Aussie dollars per detainee to house refugees on the offshore detention camps. But what seemed like an economic solution became a humanitarian crisis. Reports of inhumane conditions, riots and deaths turned Nauru into a symbol of failed migration policy. Blaming Nauru alone wouldn't ignore history. Colonial powers, particularly the British, exploited its phosphate wealth for decades, leaving behind environmental devastation and an economy on the brink. So you might be thinking, what is going to happen now that Nauru has depleted all of its phosphate? You can see the phosphate behind. This is the remnants. It's just destroyed land that you cannot even do anything with. It's not arable, it's not livable, it's completely worthless. With the land depleted, Nauru is now looking for the ocean, pushing for deep sea mining of polymetallic nodules that could help power the batteries of electric cars and promote the push for green sustainable energy. The problem is that it risks catastrophic harm to marine ecosystems and could accelerate climate change. Ironically, they are helping the green revolution, but it could destroy the seabed. And we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the bottom of the seabed. It's a desperate gamble, one that echoes past mistakes in Nauru, but mining isn't the only survival strategy. Over the years, Nauru has dabbled in some very questionable ways of making money. Offshore banking, money laundering, selling passports and playing geopolitical chess, taking money from China to cut ties with Taiwan, and then flipping sides with Taiwan and recognizing Taiwan as a country for cash. Nauru is a tale of short-term gain over long-term sustainability. A country that has repeatedly sold itself to the highest bidder now faces an uncertain future. You see they've got some solar panels here. So they are investing into some renewable energy, which is good to see. It's not all doom and gloom. Look at this, we have all of the imported cars from the 70s and 80s, luxury cars that have just been left out to rot because they can't run them anymore. So there's no recycling here. I mean, these aren't all luxury cars to be fair, but this is a car graveyard, so to speak. Just goes to show the amount of wealth that used to be in this country is probably astronomical. It's hard to imagine driving around that people here used to be super wealthy, but to put it into perspective,
during the height of their wealth, the head police commissioner actually imported a yellow Lamborghini into the country. Once it arrived, it was too fat to get in it.
That's
to
crazy.
be fair though, if I bought a Lamborghini, I'm probably too big to get in it.
Yeah, true.
But not fat, muscular.
With limited local food production, Nauru now relies heavily on imported processed foods high in sugar and fat, a dietary shift that, along with a relaxed lifestyle, has resulted in a 70% obese rate and nearly 50% of the population suffering from type 2 diabetes, making it the most obese country in the world. The only thing is, we don't have very good internet here, we have no Wi-Fi. Luckily, when I'm traveling to other countries that aren't as remote as this country, I have Holofly eSIM. I've been using Holofly eSIM whenever I travel, especially getting here on the way from Australia, and then when we finish in Fiji, I'll have unlimited data in all of these different destinations. It's so much easier than getting the physical SIM. I just have it as soon as I land on my phone. It's very easy to connect, and they have great customer support, so if you have any issues, then you just have to speak to them and they'll sort you out. So guys, if you want to get 5% discount, just use the link in the description or the pinned comment. Make sure you put in the discount code HarryJaggard and thank me later. If you haven't realized, I literally plug Holofly in nearly every video because they're my favorite company to work with and to promote because it's such a useful eSIM. I wouldn't promote it if I didn't believe in it myself and if I didn't use it myself. I use Holofly in every country I go to. It's so good having unlimited data. What are you waiting for, guys? Get the 5% discount and support me and support Holofly. Any minute now, there should be a Japanese World War II bunker coming up. Never thought I'd say that, but anyway. Here it is. You can see these jagged rocks. They go around the entire island. It's really unfortunate because it ruins, you know, the beach, and also it makes it so there's no shipping. There's no big container ships can come here. Guys, we have made it to the north of the island, and this is a World War II Japanese bunker behind me. Wow, this is insane. O genki desu ka? Konnichiwa. And this goes to show the start of the end for Nauru, as foreign powers came to this island and started to take pieces away. Japan invaded in 1942. They built bunkers, tunnels, hidden dens, and they forced the Nauruans into labor, and they did some horrific things here. The Allies starved them, they cut the supply lines, and they basically turned Nauru into a desert, so it was forgotten. Finally, Australia liberated Nauru, but they found a broken island, and this is the start of the end for Nauru, as things took a turn for the worst. And unfortunately, yeah, these Nauruans were put through a lot by the Japanese, but it's important to have these historical reminders because history tends to repeat itself these days. Pretty cool to see. World War II bunkers in the Pacific Ocean. Who would have thought? Hello, Nauru! Oh my god, this is so sick. I love it.
So long, gay boy!
We made it back to the airport. We've done a full circle around the island and now we're back at the airport, which is where our hotel is. That is the first time in my life I've gone around the whole country in one day. and this is the airport. You actually have to give way to the planes when they're landing, because if we drive around whilst they're landing, then we're going to get killed by the thrust of the plane. Here's the airport, and you can see it's just one little fence. Look at the security for the airport. We could just jump onto the airport now. So we just stopped at the Parliament, which is right next to the airport. There's actually a police convoy, and it's Independence Day, so this could be the president. They got the police convoy. Who do you think that is?
Probably the president.
Oh,
It's
wow.
got to be, ain't it?
Yeah.
Who else is important here, other than me and you? Joking.
Well said. We've made it to the old Phosphate factory here in Nauru. You can imagine just a few decades ago this was fully functioning, and they were making millions and millions and millions from this. This was the source of so much income for this country. Now completely dilapidated and not being used, but stuck here forever. This will never be dismantled, I guess. They mined so much phosphate that at one point they are actually spending more on mining than they were on selling, because they were going deeper and deeper. And as phosphate is quite hard to mine, they were struggling, and it was in areas that were so hard to get to that they were spending hundreds of thousands on just trying to find the phosphate. And then unfortunately they were spending so much that they weren't even making that much profit. But there is this sandy dust that's everywhere. It's all on these machines. You can imagine the millions that was invested into phosphate, and now they cannot make a single penny. Such a sad story. You guys are probably wondering, what is phosphate? Why is it so popular? Well, back in the 80s and the 70s, phosphate was used as fertilizer to help plants grow. And it just so happens that Nauru has an abundance of this bird poop. Very unique opportunity, and now it has zero, has nothing, nada. Alright guys, we've come to one of the hotels where the refugees are. So they've run out of space in the detention camp, so they actually keep them in hotels now. Let's go and see if our friend from earlier is still around, because he said to come to this hotel. We want to be very careful about filming, because Nauru government do not want us filming here. Oh, nice. This is great.
Huh?
This is better than the detention camp, yeah?
A little bit better. Not much.
You have the aircon, so could be worse.
Today my tribunal.
Your what?
It's a tribunal. It's immigration discussed.
Oh.
Does that potentially give you the ability to maybe leave Nauru, or?
They always say you stay 10 years, then after you can go another country. 10 years, 12 years, sometimes 15 years, sometimes 20 years.
And how many years have you done so far?
So just finished 1 year.
So you got maybe 9 years to go.
9 years, 12 years, I don't know how long.
And you were not working? No working?
We don't work. We eat only 2 times and 1 time because not enough money.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's expensive here.
Yeah, yes, everything expensive. You
Yeah. No biryani?
Look.
Any biryani? Yeah.
It's
$20.
very expensive here.
Wow.
This is for 1 month.
Wow.
Jesus.
We use 2 pieces.
Yeah, it's not like Bangladesh prices. How did you end up in Nauru? Were you going to Australia?
We went to go to Australia. Then after we stay studio.
What, Australia?
Yeah, Australia is grown.
By
boat.
By boat?
By boat, yeah.
From Indonesia?
I don't know Indonesia because I on the boat inside. I can't see outside.
Really? You had no idea where you were going?
Yeah, but I inside stay so 1 month, something like that. Then after bang.
And then you came here?
Yeah.
By flight?
No, it's by boat.
By boat?
By boat.
Wow. And were you treated badly, or was it like hard to travel?
It's very hard travel.
Very hard.
95% chance to die.
Really? You saw people who died?
Yeah.
People on the boat?
It's our boat, no
Yeah.
die people, but another boat.
Oh, you mean maybe it like capsized?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's
Did you, when you were leaving Bangladesh, did you know that it was going to be this dangerous?
We know it's dangerous, but we try. We want to save.
Yeah.
That's why we go. Don't care anything.
What do you want for the future? What is your dream? Like,
Well, we want. It's not my dream. Everyone's dream is so. We want to go another country. Then we want to freedom.
yeah.
Here we don't have freedom.
Can you go outside?
We can go outside, but we don't have transport. Work. Only work.
Oh.
I'm so young, but I have many problems. My heart problem already start. Doctor
Because you-
always check up. Yeah, other heart little bit slow work.
Really?
They didn't give the medicine, only give paracetamol.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. And the living conditions in the detention center, is it bad? Oh, thank you so much. And did you guys have to pay to go on the boat to Australia?
It's mafia. We pay mafia.
Bengali mafia.
I actually have a mix. Some
Oh, wow.
Bangladeshi, some another country. We don't know which country.
How much was it?
13,000 US dollar.
Wow. Okay, well, thank you so much, guys. I wish the best for the future. I felt really bad for these guys. They really seemed desperate. They just wanted to get it off their chest, like the problems they've been going through. They literally have no idea how long they're going to be there, up to 20 years, 10 years. And it seems really sad that they've been put out to dry like that. And the guy was saying that the Nauru government profit $1 million per year from having these guys, and who's to blame? Nauru government, Australian government? Sounds like both. It seems like they're both getting benefits from this. Australia gets rid of these refugees that they don't want, and Nauru gets income as a result of it. And the longer they have the refugees here, the more income they get. So I think Nauru are definitely profiting off this and keeping them here potentially longer than they need to be, just so they can earn more money. But personally, I just feel really bad for these guys. Like, they were a really nice group of lads. Today, I'm finally leaving Nauru. It's only been a quick trip here, 2 days, and I feel conflicted about Nauru. I don't know whether to say good or bad, because I've had a good and bad experience. I came here with negative perceptions. People have told me negative things, and the research I'd done was very negative about Nauru. I've come and I've found a lot of negative things, but I also have to say that the Nauru people have been friendly, and there are beautiful areas of the island. So I don't want it to be all doom and gloom. However, it's impossible not to ignore the absolute shit show that has happened in this country from the Nauru government, from the Australian government, from the leaders, not necessarily the people of Nauru. I think it's important to mention that. I like to think that it's a lesson that people may learn from in terms of resource management and how to effectively manage a country's natural resources. But unfortunately, time and time again, this thing is happening, and I can't see it stopping. Thank you for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.